Hey, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Cheat Sheet. It is Thursday, June 5th, 2025. I'm Marcas Grant. That is Michael F. Florio. That is LaQuan Jones. I'm hearing an echo somewhere. I have no idea where it's coming from, but maybe it's just me. Nope, not just me. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to another edition of the Cheat Sheet on this Thursday. Happy Thursday, y'all. It is officially June. This is our second show in June. We had one on Tuesday. June gloom is officially here.
Oh, so yeah.
It is. That 2 days in a row. Feels like Jersey, man.
Yeah. For those of you who are unaware, if you're not from California, if you're from somewhere else and you want to come visit Los Angeles, you're always welcome to come visit LA. Don't do it in June. You'll be disappointed.
Yeah. I've learned that because when I first came here, it was in June. And I'm like, yo, where's the weather?
Yeah, it's going to be gray. It's going to be in the, maybe the upper 60s. Maybe it burns off in the afternoon, but June, not a great time to come. But come July through, March, April, May even, just not June.
I remember a couple years ago when our company used to do like a gathering in June, Marcus. We were at like a really nice hotel in Santa Monica, and we kept seeing all the people who were visiting, and we were like, they made a brutal mistake. They came at the wrong time.
Yep. We were right there across from the beach, and all the tourists looking sort of confused, but trying to make the best of it. So, God bless them for all of that. But anyway, it is another edition of the Cheat Sheet. Glad you can be here with us. Happy Thursday to you, Mr. Scampers. We appreciate you popping in.
Hey.
We got another edition of Something or Nothing. We are always welcome to have your questions. We'll try to answer any that we get in the chat. And then for the film festival, we watched Extraction 2. We watched Extraction a couple weeks ago, so we followed up with the sequel this week. More from Tyler Rake and just all the goodness there. So, yes, as we get started with Something or Nothing, I forgot to actually put this in the rundown, but I'm glad that somebody else jumped in there and threw it in because there's news out of Denver. We talked on Tuesday about Sean Payton saying he believes Audric Estime needs more touches, and LaQuan pretty much brushed that off as just idle chatter. Then yesterday, Tom Pelissero reported that JK Dobbins was taking a visit to Denver and maybe thinking about signing with the Broncos. And so that's been the chatter around the Broncos running back room for the last not quite 24 hours. So I will ask you again on Thursday, LaQuan, when I asked you on Tuesday, where's your RJ Harvey God now?
Gavin, can we please pull up the picture? I just want to say. We do not care. We don't care. I felt like I was getting jumped yesterday from you guys because listen, not only was you guys like, oh hey, did you see the news? I'm getting added in Tom's tweets. I'm getting my buddies in the sleeper chat throwing the eyes like, bro, I saw the news. We are good. I'm not worried about this. And you guys were sitting here poking the bear. No. It's going to be a good addition to that backfield if they get JK Dobbins. Look at Marcus. Look, he's purposely doing it. And it's crazy we're starting off the top with this because this was not the first thing on the rundown, ladies and gentlemen. So this was clearly a planned attack. But to get to my point, though, with JK Dobbins, he's going to be added to that backfield, and it's only going to help this Denver Broncos offense because we have to remember they had no running game. Javonte Williams, wash like the jeans that I'm throwing out now because they're just not even blue anymore. That is Javonte Williams. He barely cracked the 500-yard mark. Now you add JK Dobbins, which in Sean Payton's vision board of what this offense is going to be, you have him inserting him as the Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara being that badge of honor that RJ Harvey could play. Because we have to remember, Javonte Williams had 70 targets last year, people. That's targets that are going to the running back position, and RJ Harvey is clearly the better pass catcher and more explosive back than JK Dobbins. Now you add JK to that backfield. Do we not remember 2017, Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram both finished top 10 running backs in points per game? Come on, folks. Let's not get too crazy about this JK Dobbins ordeal here, all right? Let's just accept it for what it is. He's having lunch. Having dinner. By lunchtime, he might end up being signed. Do not at me. Do not hit my DMs or my chats. I'm good. RJ
So, I mean,
Harvey
but
to the freaking moon.
to the moon. I mean, so you,
To the
I mean,
moon.
what? So you think what? You think RJ Harvey's going to get what? 250 touches in this backfield?
No, he don't need it. Alvin Kamara didn't get 250 touches. Mark Ingram actually led the team in touches, and he still finished higher than Mark Ingram with 20 fantasy points per game. And that's Alvin Kamara. I know you guys are going to be like, well, he had 100 targets. That's fine. That's fine. He had 100 targets that season. Michael Thomas even had 1,200 yards that season as well. Great. Thumbs up. But here's the thing. We don't have a Michael Thomas on that team. We still don't know if Pat Bryant is going to be that high ceiling, the prototype of a Michael Thomas. But it's fine. Those targets that happened last year with Javonte Williams, of all people, not Jalen, not him. McLaughlin didn't get those targets, but Javonte Williams did. So I'm going on a little rant right now because this is getting me hot. Because I don't understand the news to make RJ Harvey drop down. He's going in the 5th round, Marcus. I dare you to drop. Thank you. We do not care. I dare you to drop RJ Harvey's ADP less than what it is right now. I dare you. So many championships are going to be screaming. Like, why did you guys do this? Because of JK Dobbins.
But it's not just because of J.K. Dobbins. It's J.K. Dobbins plus this Audric Estime news, plus the fact that Jaleel McLaughlin
Sean Payton's a nice guy.
The fact that Sean Payton hates your fantasy team. He does. I mean, like, look, if you want to be on an RJ Harvey, fine. But if you're going to sit here and tell me RJ Harvey to the moon in year 1, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it in year 1.
I think
fine.
it puts a cap.
I
on
am
the
buying
upside.
it.
He does. It puts a cap on the
What are
upside.
we expecting though?
So RJ Harvey could still produce, right? In my opinion, like I want to say this, like I'm not the leader of LQ loves RJ Harvey. I was in on Harvey before he got drafted, and then he went to the Broncos and like his ADP shot up, and he's going 5th round sounds good until you realize he's RB 17, and what is his ceiling now if Dobbins is there, like. Is it top 12? Because to me, you're paying close to that price then to get him. And look, I had a lot of people in my mentions yesterday being like, well, JK Dobbins wasn't actually good. Okay. People being like, RJ Harvey is better. That doesn't matter. Like, it matters, but only to an extent. Because we've seen plenty of really talented rookies have their ceiling capped by a veteran presence. Javonte is a good example. Like, we all loved him. Melvin Gordon capped his ceiling. On Tuesday, I was like, Bijan lost touches to Tyler Algier. Gibbs lost them to Montgomery. Bucky was losing touches to Rashad White last year. Like, they could still produce and still be really good, but it just puts a cap on the ceiling, in my opinion. So I would rather RJ Harvey fall a bit, and then I think he's an appropriate value. At 17 right now, like, I could wait rounds and to get like a round or two and get James Conner. Like, James Conner was a top 10 running back last year.
He was. That was like one of the only names I didn't see pop up in the little group chat that I'm in that we were arguing about RJ Harvey and JK Dobbins. But I could hear your point on that though.
I think he should go closer to the other rookie. Like, all of the other rookies outside of Hampton and Genty are going outside the top 20.
But Marcus, the good news here is that we have people that are anti RJ Harvey. So again, I dare you to drop his ADP right now. If it goes in the 6th, 7th round, that is a beautiful value that you're going to get for a guy that's going to be explosive in an offense that's able to move the ball with a comparable quarterback in Bo Nix that can dump it off. Like, I see the targets, I see the opportunity, and I see the talent. And J.K. Dobbins is not scaring me because he only helps this running game be a little bit better.
I mean, yeah, I guess I hear all that. I feel like there's just going to be too many people there.
And my biggest fear is Sean Payton's going to see J.K. Dobbins and his huge body and be like, hey, you're the goal line guy now. And if that happens, like that, that is a cap.
I think that's what happened with Mark Ingram, though. And I think Alvin Kamara, like, all his touchdowns were obviously breakaway runs. And J.K. Dobbins is not a breakaway runner. You know what I mean? So he's not a guy that I expect take it from, their own 40 and take it to the house. I expect that out of RJ Harvey, but there's going to be opportunities for both of them to be successful. I mean, Mark Ingram had 12 touchdowns that year. Alvin Kamara had 13. Like, well, that's a successful backfield.
Agree, 100%. But it's one of the best running back tandems we've had in years. Drew Brees was in his prime. Michael Thomas was like we're elevating all of the Broncos to be at the Saints level, and that's the absolute ceiling.
That is the absolute ceiling. So I'm willing to say top 12 RJ Harvey, but you're getting him in what, the 5th or 6th round by the time we get to August? Like that's a good deal. That's a good deal for me to do as an RB2.
The other thing, 5th round right now in underdog, but when these redraft leagues start happening, running backs get pulled up the board more. So they
go upstream. They do go upstream.
RB17 could be a 4th. If he's going in the middle of the 4th round, are you still taking him there?
I did. Yes.
Okay. I do love the support.
I took him in the 2nd round. I mean, in the 4th round, in the middle of the 4th round, because I didn't like the running backs after that, because some guys were getting pulled up as well. But James Conner, like I said, is a good example of a guy that you could wait on, who is still getting the targets and getting the opportunities on the goal line as the main back, because Trey Benson is not threatening whatsoever at this point. But that is a good point. Look, you pull one out of your pocket, bro. Like I did not know that you had James Conner tucked away, but that was a good example.
So apparently,
back.
Apparently, me talking about RJ Hart, I don't know, the powers that be, folks in Denver just came and pulled the plug on me or something.
That was me. I sent the text ripping out now.
Just pull them out. So I'm back now. I assume you guys are still talking about RJ Harvey.
We're still debating.
Okay. Look, I just think there's just too many bodies there. That's my maybe
I am the Tyler Rake. You cannot defeat me. You cannot kill me. I am undefeated when it comes to this, man. I'm standing my ground. I am the Tyler Rake of the RJ Harveys right now. I am extracting him all the way to RB1 this season.
I do want to. I'm not an anti RJ Hart. I really liked him as a player, and I see the upside and all of that. It's more skeptical of trusting Sean Payton when you have this many options in the back.
This many options, man.
If he falls a little bit in ADP, I'm totally still in. But he's going. I know the rounds are a little bit different, but he's going in RB rankings. He's the next RB after Joe Mixon.
He's right ahead of DeAndre Swift in a lot of ADPs.
In underdog right now, his ADP is rounds higher than DeAndre. I'd much rather DeAndre Swift at cost.
Swift is definitely going to come up by the time August comes around. His ADP is going to go up
because we've been talking about running back right now. I take him every draft.
Yeah. Look, this feels like Sean Payton. This is gonna be like when you go to the Cheesecake Factory, right? When you think you have what you want, you're like, "Ooh, this looks good too," and that's gonna be him with his running backs.
Listen,
the cheesecake
if
menu
underestimate, if he gets valuable touches, I want a wellness check on Sean Payton. He's a nice guy, but come on, underestimate over a JK Dobbins and RJ Harvey to touch the ball where on the field?
But
where
you have 2 huge backs there. Then my fear is goal line. If he's losing those touches, that it just
all right. So
prevents.
What would you rather have? I know it sounds crazy, but we're in PPR formats. If I tell you RJ Harvey's going to see 100 targets, but he's going to have less goal line opportunities than JK Dobbins, are you out? Or are you in?
He's getting 100 targets,
but I don't think he's going to get 100 targets, man.
All right. 70 targets is the ceiling.
That's a huge
70 targets.
If he's getting 70 targets,
but
no goal line work at all, then
no,
he's going to get RB2.
Yeah,
I can do that. I mean, I'll take the RB2. That's fine.
Javonte Williams had 70 targets last year.
Okay.
He had 70
See
targets.
what I'm saying?
But that was also a distant second to Cortland Sutton. Also allegedly Marvin Mims is going to see more work. Allegedly Devon Vele is good. Allegedly they may sign JK Dobbins. Allegedly Audric Estime is going to get more touches. I mean, there's a whole lot of hopium going on right now.
The Broncos are being pumped up too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. I think some of this is people maybe wishing for the demise of the Chiefs, and then seeing a little bit of what Bo Nix did last year. There's a lot of hype around this offense, and you
have every reason to be on board, Florio. You hate the Chiefs, just come on.
I would love for the Broncos to win their division and to beat the Chiefs and all of that. I don't want to pay Saints prices for Broncos offense, you know?
You guys spanked them in the playoffs, but that was a team with like no wide receiver 2 or a run game, no tight end. Like
Man,
this is
Marvin
just
Mims caught like a 60-yard touchdown.
huh?
Marvin Mims is a wide receiver too. They just don't believe in him, in my opinion.
He's utilized in intermittent. Like I don't know what they're doing with him. Actually, I can't even put into words what Sean Payton thinks of Marvin Mims because I don't even think he knows who he is. Like that's the problem.
Yeah, Gavin wanted to drop in this fact that the charts about Shorty says Chargers are greater than Broncos. Our producer Gavin is a Charger fan, so I know he wants to give some love to the squad. Look, there's going to be a battle, I think, in the AFC West, right? Because the Chiefs obviously still the division champs. The Broncos are improved. The Chargers are going to be competitive. Even the Raiders are going to be better than where they were. So, for sure. All right. That was enough tweaking of LaQuan. That was fine. We wanted to get that in here. The story we were actually going to lead the show with is the Anthony Richardson story. It broke literally just a few minutes before we came on. Injured his shoulder, will not participate in minicamp next week. Reportedly, it is the same shoulder that he injured last year. Missed some time with an AC shoulder injury, AC joint injury. So, look, I put this under something or nothing. Florio, this is definitely something, right? There's no way this is not nothing.
No, because the one thing that, and I sound like a broken record, I know that. The thing that Anthony Richardson most needs is reps, because when the Colts drafted him, he was a 21-year-old who had thrown 393 passes in college. He has not reached that number yet in 2 NFL seasons, like combined. He's at 348. So in all of college and the NFL, he's thrown less than 700 or around 700 passes. Like,
It's great.
that's too little, and he needs the reps. And so now missing all, like, I know they're saying he's going to be ready for camp and stuff like that, but now he's missing all of this time. And on top of that, that is more time that Daniel Jones gets with these receivers, and that the coaches get to watch him and stuff. So I had, my original thinking was like, it's probably going to be Anthony Richardson who wins this, at least coming out. But now I think it's really up in the air, and they're complete opposites when it comes to fantasy. Like, if Anthony Richardson is the QB, he brings a lot of upside himself, but you don't really want the pass catchers. It's the exact opposite with Daniel Jones. Like, you don't want to start Daniel Jones at all, but he is better than Anthony Richardson is for the pass catchers, especially Josh Downs, because he's thrown, in his last 3 seasons combined, 27% of his passes have gone to the slot. His last full season in 2023, it was 33%. So, like, he made Wan'Dale Robinson a thing, and Josh Downs is actually good. So, like,
yes,
get excited.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm with you on this, Florio, that it was going to be a camp battle, right? That was the reason they brought in Daniel Jones, was to give Anthony Richardson some competition, to force him to really up his game, to earn that starting spot. The thing is, we have seen that the Colts will bench Anthony Richardson with no hesitation. We saw that last year. Now, mind you, it was maybe a poor decision. It was probably premature because Joe Flacco ended up being awful. But they're obviously going to give him a very short leash. LaQuan, I have this feeling that if Daniel Jones wins this competition, which obviously with Richardson not playing now, he gets a leg up heading into July and August.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be hard for Richardson to pry him out of that job, mostly because, I mean, unless Jones just falls on his face the way Flacco did last year, I think he'll be good enough. And I don't know that we've seen anything out of Richardson to suggest he can be so much better as to just force Indy's hand to put him back in the starting lineup.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard. I think we're seeing a preview to the storyline and narrative that's going to be heading into week 1. And then I think they're going to just pull the trigger now and, like, in their heads just think, all right, well, this guy's hurt again. It's going to take some time to get him ramped back up to get these reps that he desperately needs. But if Daniel Jones is playing decent ball through camp and going into week 1, I don't see how Anthony Richardson sees the field again, because it's more so of like, what is it going to take for him to get a consistent season with no ups and downs? I love Mr. Scampers. But I do feel like this is going to be hard for me to even look at Anthony Richardson as like a late round steal or dart throw or even in that nature. Like I'm kind of just completely just, all right, I'm out. I'm out of the project, you know?
I mean, Florio, because I know you've been still willing to take that late shot on Richardson. Does this change how you feel about that?
Yeah, it makes it a little bit tougher. I still am of the mindset that, like, if these two are, if the camp battle is close at all, advantage Anthony Richardson, because I think if you're the Colts and you bench Anthony Richardson again, that's it, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to come back from that, from being benched twice. So that's why I've kept being like, I think he is at least going to open the season as the starter. But now we got to see how long he misses, because they're saying no procedure and that he's going to be back sometime at camp. But what if it's not till like August that he, like, I'm just purely speculating here, but it all depends on how long this is going to sideline him. It is just another bad thing in what has been a really bad start to a career, because I still believe Richardson has all the potential in the world. I don't know how you can watch him and not think that he has otherworldly potential. Can he put it together? We don't know. We've seen a lot of guys with potential not be able to put it together, but if he can't be on the field, then he's never going to be able to put it together, because, again, those reps and everything is what he needs more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, he needs work as a passer, right? The running thing and the rushing touchdowns, that works for us. That works for fantasy. It does not work for the Indianapolis Colts. You need someone who can be, he doesn't have to be a great passer. He just has to be a competent passer. And last year, 47% completion percentage is not anything close to being competent in that area. And it's not going to get better by being on the sideline. So it's an unfortunate setback. We'll see how serious it is, how long it's going to keep him out. But and like you said, it's a tough start to what has been a difficult career so far. He hasn't even played a full 17 games yet. Like,
I can't even put him in the satchel of discontent. Like, I don't even think he even fits the criteria to even get in that bag now, because it's kind of like he's not on the field playing. Like, we don't have anything.
You had to have had some contentment before you put him in the satchel of discontent.
Which is why those valuable reps should have been going to him last year and not Joe Flacco, where you got blown out every game he played anyway.
Hey,
like, I'm still
they thought they were going to win games. They saw what he did in Cleveland.
That's literally what it was. They looked around at the division and they said, you know what? There's still a chance we can win this thing, or maybe even just sneak into the playoffs. And so they made the move, and it blew up spectacularly on them. And
that
man was sleeping on the bench.
6-game Cleveland run is the most overrated thing in football in the last few years. Like, he had a few good games. Yeah. I get it. They got mollywopped in the playoffs. Like, it wasn't as good as, I don't know. He won comeback player of the year off of like a good month. It's crazy to me. Over a guy who came back to life. Like, I still can't believe that.
I look at
that's true. Yeah, he won it over a guy who literally died. On the field.
Yeah. Crazy.
And there's people to this day who defend it, who are like, well, he was the better player. Like, okay, some things are bigger than how they play on the field.
But also he played 5 games. He played 5 games in the regular season and then 1 game in the playoffs. That was it. I don't know. Other quarterback news in the AFC South. D'Amico Ryan says CJ Stroud is dealing with general soreness in his throwing shoulder. LaQuan, is this something or nothing?
This is something. Did you watch the video? Like, the body language was very telling. Like, it was like that nervous laugh. Like, yeah, he's fine. Enough questions for CJ. Like, no, bro, we see you. We see what's going on. That might be something to just monitor, because I don't need a hurt CJ Stroud once they just got the new toys in town. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a huge Christian Kirk guy, Jalen Noel, and obviously Jaden Higgins. I need these guys to have a CJ Stroud top tier, like his rookie year type of level of health. So it's like, ooh, this might actually be something that we have to consider, once we start getting closer to, camp.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I might be done just washing my hands of this Texans offense. Like,
what?
I have Nico Collins in my home league. It's a keeper league. I have him already there. I love Nico Collins, but I always find myself a little hesitant because I don't know. Like, a friend of mine asked me yesterday, which CJ Stroud was the real CJ Stroud, rookie year or last year? And I don't know because I don't think he's as bad as he was last year. But I've been saying this for a while. I think he overperformed his rookie year, and he had off the charts efficiency on the deep ball. Their O-line is worse now. CJ Stroud is hurt. There's a lot of weapons there, like LQ was saying. I don't know, man. I find it. Like, I get it if you want to get Kirk or the rookie wide receivers. They're very cheap. They're late upside. But, like, you have to use a top 15 pick on Nico Collins, and I get why, because Nico is amazing. But, like, I don't know. This is scaring me.
It is.
I would say that and I think a lot of people had the same reaction you did, LaQuan, whereas looking at D'Amico Ryans' body language and sort of listening to his tone has people worried about it. You know,
yeah, I would be. As a fan, I'd be like, yo, tell us the truth. Like, we want to know if we buy these season tickets.
The words that came out of his mouth said the Texans are not worried, but everything else about it said, yeah, there's some concern about this whole thing.
And
you're
gonna have to clean.
Well, and look, I mean, to Florio's point, if CJ Stroud's not there, this whole thing really does fall apart unless you somehow believe Davis Mills is the guy
neck,
to
baby.
get it done. You know?
Long neck is crazy.
Davis Mills, if you know, Keaton Slovis rises up from the depths of, I think he's like number 4 on the depth chart. Graham
Remember,
Mertz.
Davis Mills was good though. He went through that little 3-game
Davis
stretch.
Mills had like odd good stretch.
Remember when Nico Collins was like a fringe guy to roster, and then CJ Stroud arrived, and now he's a wide receiver 1? Like,
Crazy. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. That's a huge jump. Oh, hey, our producer bringing up Damian Pierce. Don't do that. That's triggering right there, man. That hurts the heart, man, what happened to Damian Pierce, man.
I mean, like, wait, which one of you is out on? You're out on Joe Mixon, right, LaQuan? You're out.
no, I am.
Or is it Florio? Florio's out on
always
Joe
Mi-
Mixon.
LQ
I'm always
loves
in.
Mixon.
Yes.
Okay.
LQ, if you're sitting there on the board and RJ Harvey and Joe Mixon are both there, which one are you taking?
Closing my eyes and hitting draft. Doesn't matter.
Just flipping a coin.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Just close my eyes and just, all right, we're good. Doesn't matter.
All right. Yeah, the Stroud thing, definitely something to pay attention to, along with the Richardson thing. So 2
He
quarterbacks.
also has a bad
in the
old
same
line.
division.
Like, a sack on that shoulder is. Every time he gets sacked, you're going to be worried if you invest.
I'm
in
going
CJ
to
Stroud.
take this off season to like actually read the sign and then process it and tuck it and read the sign again and not ever bring it back up because I'm probably not going to draft CJ Stroud or Nico Collins this year. But Joe Mixon stays on the roster though
All
because he's
right.
going to get dumped off.
You know
Just
what?
saying.
If it's Davis Mills, he probably will dump it off a ton.
Thank you. Like, I'm 100% all in on Mixon. We get the dump offs. Let's go.
I don't know. I do want to look into that. I mean, what was Davis Mills? Was he a dump off guy, or was he a bleep it? They're down there
Oh,
somewhere.
he will be a dump off guy. He's cold on the bench. I mean, when the last time he saw some real game time?
I mean,
Jeez.
look, man. I mean, how many times?
Tyrod Taylor was above him on the depth chart, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, I'm looking yards per attempt when he was a starter in 2022. Yeah, 6.5. So he wasn't necessarily chucking it deep.
You know how
during his,
certain
time
quarterbacks
as a
they say
starter.
can't see over the line?
Well, Davis Mills.
Davis Mills is 6'4".
He
and
can
like,
see.
you-
He can see.
He can't
over
see the
hor-
dump off. Like that's below his line of
He
sight.
can
the
see over the
parking lot.
horizon. He can see the horizon.
Yeah,
Like he
in the
knows. He can. Davis Mills can stand in the pocket and tell you that the Earth is not flat. He's like, no, I can see it curve. I'm tall enough. I can just see how it curves. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh my god.
Shorty in the chat talking about Alec Ayomanor, receiver for the Titans. Gonna be a sleeper. I seen him cook Hunter for 300 yards in college. He was unstoppable. I have professed that I am just at least a late round. I don't expect. If I'm drafting him, I'm not expecting I'm going to be putting him in my lineup every single week, but I do want to kind of draft and follow and see what he turns into because I do think there's opportunity there with a Titans roster that does not have a lot of depth at wide receiver. So yeah, I'm
And
definitely willing to give him a shot.
I had a little concerns about his separation, but Cam Ward is the quarterback that's gonna be like, yeah, I trust my arm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I fit.
So he'll make
Yeah.
that happen.
He's
So
got
has
half
that
a yard of
balance.
space. I could fit that in there.
we'll get it there. It's fine. He's open. It's good. In Baltimore, Todd Monken talking about Zay Flowers saying, quote, we've just got to get him the ball more. But at the same time, the Baltimore Ravens also just handed a 3-year, $36.75 million extension to Rashad Bateman.
Guaranteed. 20 guaranteed. That's where it's at.
So this whole thing about the Zay Flowers, Florio, is this something or nothing?
It is. I think Monken believes it's something, but I don't believe it is something because, like you look at last season alone, they threw 116 times to Flowers. No one else on that team was even within 40 targets of him. And they just paid Rashad Bateman, who was their number 2 target. Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely are there. And remember, Andrews had that really weird start to the season. And then you add in D-Hop. Like their number 3 target wide receiver last year was Nelson Aguilar. He had less than 30 targets. I'm pretty confident that D-Hop is going to have more than 30 targets this year. They're still the running back. Like, it's just so many weapons. And then you add in that this is a big play offense. So there's fewer drives where you're going 10, 15 plays deep because you have Derrick Henry breaking out 60-yard runs. You have Lamar throwing 50-yard touchdowns, stuff like that. So we were talking about it before the show. I was doing some research for the insiders, and Lamar in his career has had one receiver finish top 36 in points per game. Like, it's, or top 30, 35, something like that. Top 30. It's not great. Like, his wide receivers are all wide receiver 3s or worse. So, yeah, I like Flowers for real life, but I think last year's kind of what we should expect.
Every year, it feels like the Ravens are like, we're going to throw the ball more. Although last year, I'll say this. Lamar set a career high. He went over 4,000 passing yards for the first time in his career. He had 40 touchdowns for the first time in his career. And as much as I love Lamar Jackson, that also kind of feels like the ceiling when you look at the offense and the weapons around him. That, that's about the peak of what you can expect from him as a passer. He's still going to be effective running the ball. I'm not sitting here telling you he's going to decline or be bad, but it also feels like that's sort of the best you can hope for. And as you mentioned, with all the other guys there, right, with DeAndre Hopkins there, with Mark Andrews there, with Isaiah Likely, hopefully getting some more opportunities, Bateman, Flowers, is that enough to support all of these guys? And I'm not sure that it is. To this point, you look at a guy like Rashad Bateman, and he has underwhelmed, right? That's fair. He has not been what I think people thought he was going to be coming out of college. Good for him on getting paid, but I don't know that suddenly makes me feel like, yep, I got to move Rashad Bateman up my draft board because he's just going to start cooking. I don't see that.
He's a Raven. Like, that's just what it is for me, that he just plays for the Ravens. Like, I'm not jumping up and down for a Ravens wide receiver. They broke Deontay Johnson, by the way. Like, I want to know what happened, because there was no way he wasn't going to go there and produce, but then he didn't even play. He just there on
They picked
vacation.
him up in the playoffs so that no one else could play him. It was wild.
Yeah,
like, I don't get it.
And now he's in Cleveland.
Am I crazy to think that he could be something in Cleveland? Because, like, he goes
I'm on that train.
undrafted in best balls sometimes.
Yeah, what? Yeah, I'm taking those shots.
Sure. At the
He
right
is a
price.
Yeah.
Just, again, that's a whole situation.
Deontay Johnson or Alec Iamaner?
I'll take Johnson over Iomanor.
I would take Deontay.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, I take Johnson. But that's not,
We're
again,
getting something.
like, but Iomanor is like, literally I'm taking him like near the end of the draft. So like, it's not a high
I did a
bar.
best ball
Those
the
are
other
the
day, and
best picks.
Deontay went undrafted, and he's like wide receiver 100 or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like, nobody
look,
knows he's on Cleveland. That's why.
I literally had to look it up. I'm like, where is he right now? And I just had to look it up.
How long though before he absolutely hates all 4 of those quarterbacks?
That's the thing. There's all these quarterbacks here. I saw some video of Shador throwing dimes out here, and people were getting excited about it. And yeah, that's interesting, but there's just so much turmoil there in that passing game. I just don't want to deal with it. couple other ones here. Mike McDonald says it's crazy to ask if Sam Darnold will be the Seahawks starting quarterback. LaQuan, you were saying that you saw some stuff that like Seahawks fans, folks in Seattle, were like pumping up Jalen Milroe, that they want Jalen Milroe to start.
This was just literally a couple of days before this report came out. You know, I'm just looking in the fantasy streets scrolling, and I'm like, why am I seeing Jalen Milroe right now? Just because we saw one slow motion video, it's like, what? Like, okay, I don't see why this is even a thing, because Sam Darnold, like, you might get the same product that you got that the Vikings got. You know, he's been with the Kyle Shanahan's and now with KOC. Now he's going to Seattle with an opportunity to be the guy. I don't think we should start having him look over his shoulder. It'll be somewhat of the Panther situation he had, you know? So it's like, you better keep Sam on a mental state that he is the QB1, or he's going to start seeing some ghost again.
I mean,
this is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Why?
Yeah.
One, Sam Darnold was good last year. He's better than Drew Lock.
They got rid of Drew Lock. Like, they've already given up on him.
You know, he's who's behind? So, but Drew Lock is there. He's their number 2 guy, right? He's better than Drew Lock. Jalen Milroe is a project. Also, Seattle, hey man, the Mariners are good. Like, focus on that for a little while. Like, give them some attention for a couple of weeks, and then come back to this in like July and August.
They paid Sam Darnold $100 million. He hasn't taken a snap yet. And people are like, hey, the guy that you traded and then got back, or the 3rd round rookie that is a development pick, maybe you should start like, what are we doing here? I understand Sam is what he is, but like, he's earned respect and the chance to start and all of it. And meanwhile, last year when I tweeted that, like, hey, if Seattle falls out of it, maybe they'll play Sam Howell over Geno Smith, Seahawk fans were coming for me like I said the word. Like this guy hasn't even played a snap yet, and you're trying to replace him now.
Yeah, I don't get it. That just seems like a lot. The 24-hour news cycle was a mistake. Like, we don't have to fill everything. We don't have to ask questions about it. Like, it's Sam.
There's 9 months of no football, and we're right in the middle of it now.
What are we doing? Milroe looks like be a boss RB.
Boss.
Yeah.
We're using that again.
Okay, so wait, LaQuan, let's just, for the sake of argument, say that Milroe became a boss RB. Would you take him over Kenneth Walker?
Yeah. Yeah. Probably play more games. Yeah. Like, I know what I'm getting. Yeah.
All right, cool. That's fair. DJ Moore says he's had conversations with Ben Johnson about his body language. There were times last year where DJ Moore would get visibly frustrated about things that were happening. There was that one play, right, where he just kind of like hung out on the sideline. Like, didn't he get like blocked out of bounds or something like that, and he just kind of like stayed, stuff like that.
Get the frustration.
Yeah, I get it too. I mean, this feels like nothing to me, guys.
You know what it's like? It's like if you had a hoopty and you were upset with your car, and then all of a sudden someone gave you a Ferrari, and we're like, hey, are you still going to be upset with your car? Like, no, things changed. I'm much happier now. Like, yeah, we all watched the Bears offense last year. We knew how broken it was. Like, we were all very vocal about it. Now he gets one of the best play callers in the league.
Yeah.
I think this is him basically saying, like, hey, you know, get your body language on top. You are being looked at as a leader now. Like, you are the face. You are the guy next to Caleb. You guys are going to be playing backyard ball. You'll be much happier on the sidelines, you know?
Yeah.
DJ Moore is one of my most drafted wide receivers so far.
I can see that. I mean, it makes sense.
Where's he going now? Because I've seen him bounce like third,
his
fourth.
Underdog ADP right now is wide receiver 23. He's behind Xavier Worthy and Titaroa McMillan, and just ahead of Travis Hunter and Devonta Smith. Like, he should be way higher.
Keep it.
He's behind McMillan, huh?
Yeah, I think he should be going in the range where like Rashee Rice, Terry McLaurin, Marvin Harrison, like high end 2s, but you're getting him as a low end 2 for some reason.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Let's just pretend for the next couple months that he is bad, and we come on the pod and just say he's terrible, and then we just push his ADP
I'll tell you this right now. I think
stinks. Don't draft him.
All of the Bears are going to be on a ton of my fantasy teams because, like, you're not paying the Ben Johnson tax, which I thought you'd have to.
Not yet. That
not
might
yet,
come later. So take advantage of it now. Did get a couple questions in the chat. This one from Shorty, who's asking, "Are you guys high on Caleb Williams?" The short answer is yes. The longer answer is yes. Yeah, man. Like, so it's funny because last year when we were talking about Caleb, everybody was super high on him, right? And like, I kind of started the process being very cautiously optimistic. Like, I think when we started, I was probably the lowest on Caleb Williams. And I think I got peer pressured into like just going big on him. And something by like, by the time the season started, I was like, he's going to be a top 10 quarterback. Like, I feel like I got bullied into it.
You said that in Rank's voice.
Yeah. So, but this year, I always thought that year 2 was going to be the better year for Caleb. I, at the time, didn't know that Ben Johnson was going to come over and be their head coach. But I always thought year 2 was going to be better. So yeah, this is it for me, for Caleb. I'm in fully.
Agreed.
There's one other one. I saw a Dynasty League question from Ducey Demon. In my Dynasty League, I was offered Brian Thomas for pick 102, 103, and Tank Dell. Do I take it? That's very tempting, but you also have, it's like picks 102 and 103 could be anything. They could be Brian Thomas. Like, that's kind of how I look at it.
Boat to boat.
It could be a boat, Bishop could be anything.
But that 102 and 103 is nice, though.
That is true.
I won't.
I
don't know about
you're not
next
gonna
year's class at all yet.
That's the other part. Like, because you're missing out. Because I'm assuming your rookie draft for this year has already come and gone. So any of this year's prospects are sort of gone. But
if it's this year's 2 and 3, I would strongly consider it.
But next year,
absolutely. If it's this year, I'm taking it.
Because
I can literally attack 2 positions and.
Well, you're gonna miss out on Jonty, but you can get yourself a quarterback and a wide receiver. You can get 2 wide receivers. You can get another running back if you get another running back.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with
you
that.
Guys that Brian Thomas's numbers were way better with Mac Jones than with Trevor Lawrence?
I think I said that when we're on the pod. Like, it's the same thing. Like, it's more of the things like that is a hit to Trevor Lawrence. He's bad. He sucks.
Yeah,
and now there's Travis Hunter there, who is very good.
And Travis Hunter is very good. He's very good.
Just put Travis Hunter at quarterback by week 4. Trevor's still doing the same stuff, man. Like, get him out of here.
They start playing him at QB too now.
I do worry a little bit about whether Thomas can be that guy when there's more target competition, right? Like, some of it
is pumped. It's pumped.
Some of it was, look, he had 133 targets. The next closest was Evan Ingram at 64, right? Christian Kirk
injured.
Kirk missed more than half the season. Parker Washington wasn't really a thing. He had a couple decent games late. They just didn't have any depth in that wide receiver room. So if Travis Hunter is that guy, does that take a bite out of Brian Thomas's production?
You know what? I didn't realize this until you just said it, Marcus, but the end of the year, they had no Ingram, they had no Kirk. He didn't have a double-digit target game until week 13, and then he was 10-plus every week beyond that.
Yeah, so,
Yep.
I don't know. That's something
I'm going to do some digging into this today.
For sure. Question from Tony Romero. Thoughts on Achane? Am I the only one worried he's going a bit high? PPR monster with healthy Tua, Garbo with hurt Tua. I'm still willing to take the shot on Achane. I think because I think the ADP it's okay for me right now, and I think the explosiveness and the upside.
He was the best running back with Tua last year.
He was the best running back with Tua. No more Raheem Mostert there in that backfield as well. I don't know how you guys feel about Jalen Wright. I'm willing to take a swing. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be like heavily invested in Devon Achane, but it's worth taking a shot.
I like taking shots on Wright, but I don't think his presence ruins Achane or anything like that. Like, I just think Miami likes to use 2 backs.
Yeah, I think that's true too. Speaking of, speaking of Miami, let's get to Extraction 2. But before we get to Extraction 2, I did see this headline this morning, and I'll explain my whole Miami Extraction 2 thing in just a second. Derrick Henry says he's going for 2,000 rushing yards this year. That's not really a surprise. What is a surprise is that I guess if he hits it, he was promised a role in an Adam Sandler movie. Is he gonna go the Marshawn Lynch route of acting? And two, can he be as good as Marshawn Lynch? Because Marshawn's actually a pretty good actor. Like, I'm impressed with Marshawn.
I don't think we've seen enough personality from Derrick Henry, really, right? Like, I don't know.
No offense to the king, I don't think anyone has as much personality as Marshawn Lynch.
That's fair. That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah, I mean, Marshawn, like, the things I've seen him in has been very good. The most recent season that I watched of Westworld, like that, he was like the bright spot. Other than that, I was like, this show stinks now, and I'm out. But like, he's done a few other movies, like comedies and stuff. I mean, I think mostly it's just Marshawn being himself, but yeah, that's good enough. It's funny. I enjoy it.
A bar that he owned was on Bar Rescue, actually. It's
really?
a hilarious episode.
It was. I watched that episode with Sabrina.
Did he show up there?
Yeah. Like, his family runs it.
Okay.
And then they make him all emotional, like, you're letting Marshawn Lynch down.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
John Taffer.
I'm about to go watch Bar Rescue and eat some pho after this, man.
John Taffer.
I love Bar Rescue. It is a guilty pleasure show for me.
It is a very fun show. I also pretty much don't believe that. I feel like most of those bars don't stay with what they are long after he leaves. Like,
no, me and Sabrina have this whole thing where we will Google, like, before the episode, we'll Google to see if it's still open or not. Because, like, there's some episodes you're like, I hope this family gets together, or like, I hope this business just lives forever. Like, this is a great spot. And then you read, like, yeah, it shut down 3 weeks later after the remodel. I'm like, yo, what did you do in 3 weeks?
We're a little different people, I think, because I do the exact same thing, but I'm like, I bet you this place closed right away. Like,
wow.
Sometimes you just know watching the episode, yeah, this dude's an idiot. It's done.
Wow. By the way, side note on John Taffer, I don't know if you guys know this fact. He was involved in the creation of NFL Sunday Ticket.
Yes.
Wow.
That's his claim to fame. I knew that for some weird reason.
Yeah, he was on the board of NFL Enterprises, spent 3 years on the board, and he was part of the group that came up with the idea for NFL Sunday Ticket. So, yeah.
While we're on this tangent, he made like 3 episodes of a show called Marriage Rescue.
Yes, I saw that. I'm like, I don't need him coming in and yelling at me when my marriage is already falling apart.
During COVID, it is the worst hour you'll watch, but it is hilarious.
I'm like, if my marriage is falling apart, I don't need John Taffer yelling at me about it. I don't.
Yes,
if you want a spoiler alert, the one episode I watched, he had to convince the wife to stop cheating on the husband. Like, that was their marital problems.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Episode 1. Let's start with
there
this.
It is.
It is so bad, but it's so bad that it's funny.
Everyone in that picture looks like they don't want to be there, right? And I can't even see the husband's face, but I can just tell, like, he just doesn't. He's like, why am I here? Why are we doing this? Like, let's just get divorced already. It's already a wrap. So Extraction 2, after watching Tyler Rake's his exploits in the first Extraction, he is back for a second. So if you had any questions about whether or not he survived the end of Extraction 1, well, spoiler alert.
Back from the dead.
He did. Tyler Rake is unkillable. That is my takeaway from this. He is, in this version, he is extracting a woman and her family from a prison in Georgia, the country, not the state. This woman happens to also be the sister of Tyler Rake's ex-wife, who is married to a Georgian gangster. There are a lot of things that happened in this movie. We can get to it. But the one thing is he takes them out through a prison riot, right? It leads this woman out through a prison riot. There were 2 things of note in that prison riot that happened. One, Tyler Rake hits multiple people with a firearm. And I don't mean he hit them with a gun. I mean his arm was on fire and he was punching people with it. The other is he gets hit in the head with a cinder block. I mean, hit in the back of the head with a brick. And he gets up. There it is. There's the firearm right there. Like this guy gets it twice, but multiple guys get it with the firearm. The other part is he gets hit in the head with a brick. And he gets up
And
like
he's
it was
okay.
second. He gets up like it was 2nd and 7. Like, all right, let's just go back. Let's keep going. Like what? He is unkillable.
So I had
yes.
2 thoughts on that prison. One, he splits a dude's hand by
Yes,
the
I was about to
fingers.
say that.
Yeah.
Like he's a predator or something. And he just-
I literally grabbed my hand and I felt it in my palm. Like, Jesus.
he just goes like, bah, in his whole hand. Also,
And he didn't even hesitate.
I don't know if you guys felt this way. I was like, Tyler Rake is if Travis Kelce was an action star. Like I just kept thinking he looked like Travis Kelce in that scene.
It's
I
the
could see
haircut.
that. I could see that. I will say this.
Also, his body would not be. My favorite part. He does a Rocky IV workout montage, and all of a sudden he's okay 9 months after being declared legally dead.
Well, also he's okay, and he works out mostly by chopping wood. He's just splitting logs.
It's truly Rocky IV, right? Like he's in the snow just doing snow activities.
Everything but chasing a chicken. Gavin suggests Greg Olson could maybe be
Okay, I could see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
I still think Kelce. The fade, the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other part. So you texted us halfway through the movie, LaQuan, that you were fed up with the kid.
The kid. He got to go. Like how part 1 in Extraction 1. I'm not going to say what happened to spoil it, but you seen what happened to that one kid. What about Sandro? He was the villain of this entire movie, by the way. Like everything happened because of him. Like it was his fault. And like soon as he gave him attitude at the prison, like shrugging him off, like don't push me. Like kid, I will crush your hand in my hand. Like stop. Let's go. I'm trying to save you.
I will leave you here.
Yes, like stay.
I will leave
And then
you
you
here.
call your uncle who's trying to kill your mother. And then you get in the car, you're like, is he gonna kill my mother? And the guy goes,
You shouldn't have called.
if you wanted her to live, you wouldn't have called us.
You
Like,
shouldn't have
duh.
called.
Like, what are we doing? I hate that kid.
He was a kid who, like, obviously he looked up to his dad and his uncle, and like it's the
No,
old
he
Henry.
didn't.
It's
He
the
told her
Goodfellas.
before his mom he wouldn't do it. He would
It's
never join that gang, and he did.
It was the
Less than an hour.
Goodfellas, Henry Hill. For as long as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster. Like that's who that kid was. Until he like got a taste of what it really meant, and then he was like, "Oh, yeah, maybe I don't want this." Like sometimes when you're
that's my uncle.
sometimes
coming
when you're
with the helmet.
15, you got to learn things the hard way. It's just how it happens.
No one has more unknown, long lost family members that are in dire need than the lead character of an action movie.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or the
Because
chances.
this is what they do, right? Like you have the first movie, and then they're like, "Well, this family member that you never knew existed needs your help now more than ever."
Right. Yeah, 100%.
You
So
know
I
what?
mentioned. Go ahead.
I was saying, you know what scene was awesome though? The elevator scene where he put the bomb on the elevator door. So when it opens and it explodes, and then he just walks out the steps. I actually had like an auto. I was like, that part was really cool. Like,
Yeah.
I like the shoot. Like I like the shots in this movie better than the first one, honestly, because like, there was a lot of camera action.
He also kills far fewer people in this movie. I think we said that he killed over 80 people in the first movie. I believe his body count in this one was like less than 30. I mean,
he had help.
He had help. He also just knocked a lot of people out and didn't necessarily kill them.
I thought that I liked 1 better than 2. I thought the story of 1 was better than 2, but 2 to me, to your point, LQ, I thought was focused more on like the shots and like cool way of doing action stuff. Whereas 1 was just like, this guy is in a world of trouble and he's got to figure his way out. This one was more like, we're going to do really cool. I also felt like 2 was to lead us to 3 because there's clearly a third coming. And 3 looks like it's going to be really good, but I felt like 2 was like a bridge to get us to 3.
Oh, 100%.
The trailer we saw yesterday.
It came out the trailer?
No, it was an AI trailer.
Oh,
that was floating around the internet.
like Idris Elba is going to be a big part of this of 3, it seems. So like that's going to be awesome.
Yes, I mean you don't get Idris Elba and just have him do like little cameos at the beginning and end of a movie. Like you have a bigger plan.
Oh, like
for him.
Thor. Like Thor?
Oh, when he was Heimdall? That's
Yeah.
different.
I was
That's
thinking this
different.
yesterday. If Thor fought
limited
Tyler
role.
Rake, it would be a draw.
Well, I mean, they're the same person, so yeah.
But like if they're characters, because like Thor is
No,
a god,
no.
but
I mean,
Tyler Rake
obviously, I
can't
know-
die.
No, I mean, obviously, I know it's the same actor, but no, like it feels like Tyler Rake was set up to be Thor, right? Like the first in the first movie we talked about it, he like
Thor
sits
is-
underwater, he just sits at the bottom of the lake, like just chilling out, thinking about life.
You know what? What happens in 3? He gets the powers of Thor, and then Thor 1 is Extraction 4.
Shout out to Chris Helmsworth for being like, I'm gonna play 2 characters, and that's gonna be my career. Like, I know he does other stuff, but he doesn't have to.
Yeah. No, so yeah, you're right. Extraction 3, he extracts Loki, and they go to Asgard together, and then that's how the whole thing happens. I don't know. I did mention Miami before we started talking about Extraction 2. The reason was because, like, as I was watching the movie, who was it? Was it Yaz, the other guy?
When Sandro got killed? Yeah.
Yeah. I just imagine that being Mike McDaniel. Like I can see that. I could totally see him being Mike. Like from the bad shirt to the smart ass comments.
Hey, that was a fire shirt. That was a loud shirt.
That was very much up your alley. I could definitely see you rocking a shirt like that, LaQuan. But I'm like watching it. I'm like, this dude is totally Mike McDaniel. That's who he is. Too smart for his own good. Probably going off and doing something that's going to get him killed. Like, you know, like this year he's going to make some move that he thinks is super smart and it's going to get him fired at the end of the year. Like that's him. You know?
Yeah.
I was
Great
thinking of
comp.
the dude from Brazil in Fast and the Furious, who's like, he doesn't really do much, but he just always is acting cool. Like, that's the vibe I got.
All right. I can see that.
I did like the giant guy chasing them. That guy was massive.
He was mad.
Oh yeah, he got done foul though. Yeah,
Well,
he got
of course,
out of his group, out of his unit.
Yeah, I mean, like the worst thing to be in an action movie is not the main villain. It's like the main villain's like number 2 because you tend to have the worst death.
Because you're gonna get washed.
You're gonna get washed in the worst possible way. So yeah.
What's next week's movie?
That's a good question. I thought I saw there was a Liam Hemsworth movie that showed up on my timeline there on Netflix. Another action movie with Liam Hemsworth, and I'm like, oh, we could we kind of just keep it in the family here.
I'm down to watch some Van Damme, man.
Land of Bad. That's what it was.
Okay.
It's got Liam Hemsworth and Luke Hemsworth, so it's got 2 of the Hemsworth brothers. It has Russell Crowe, and it also has. I was gonna say it said Ricky Whittle. I thought it was like the former Oregon running back, but apparently no. There's another person named Ricky Whittle. So never mind. But it does have both Hemsworth brothers and Russell Crowe. I feel like that's a worthy nominee, unless somebody has something better.
No, I know we mentioned on Tuesday Shawshank. If we don't watch
Yeah,
it
I'm
for
about to
this,
say that.
you and Sabrina just need to watch it.
You just need to watch Shawshank just to watch it for sure.
I'm gonna try to get that done this week.
It's like 4 hours, so
Understand? Yeah. Understand? You're gonna be in for a minute, but like it's worthwhile. And if you need to take an intermission, take a break, get some, take a walk, get some snacks, whatever.
And there's so many lines from there that you'll probably be like, "Oh, that's from this movie." Like,
or you will have seen the gifs floating around. You'll be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen this."
Oh, see that I love when that happens.
You'll be a lot of things like, "Oh, I've seen this gif before." Like I know I've seen this before.
I want to see the one. I need to still find the one movie where the one guy he's like,
oh, that's
he's, like,
actually
looking back.
Oh, that's Weebay from an episode of The Wire. Yeah, it's from The Wire.
I need to watch finish The Wire still.
Yeah, I think we lost your audio, LaQuan.
Yeah, you got too. You got too shocked that your audio.
Oh, I think you're back now. Wait, are you back? No, you're not back.
I'm back.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, you're back. Okay, there you are. Oh, you're just on a really serious delay. That's all it is.
It's time to put it
Which is probably a good reason for us to maybe just shut this thing down. Anyway, it's been an hour and we're devolving into nonsense. So appreciate everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. All your participation, we're so grateful for it. Absolutely. Yeah, Gavin said you hit the word count, and so you just shut down.
Apparently, Amon-Ra St. Brown had knee surgery this offseason.
Okay, breaking news. All right, ARSB, ARSB with
You
some
lose
knee
Ben
surgery.
Johnson.
That is going to impact the ADP. And this is a guy who was going mid to late first round. We'll see. We'll see whether this knocks him out of the first round.
Take Malik Neighbors and Puka over him. That's all.
There you go. All right. Arsba maybe dropping to early round.
Oh, yeah. Simple.
Perhaps. Worthwhile. All right. We'll be back with you, though, next Tuesday. A little bit of a note. No cheat sheet next Thursday. We will be scattered to the winds. So just one show for you next week. We'll keep you updated on the calendar as we move along in the meantime. Appreciate you hanging out. Thanks to Gavin Kinsel for putting us together for us, as always. For LaQuan Jones, for Michael F. Florio, this is Marcas Grant saying thank you for enjoying the cheat sheet. Stay happy, safe, and healthy. Do good and live well. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you again next week.